What's up, everyone? Frank here. Basically, just woke up, cup of coffee next to me, and I am going to talk a bit about hired ops again because one of my commenters actually told me he disagreed with some stuff, and I said I would check it out again. So I did. So in this video, I'm gonna try to explain how my opinion of this has changed, and basically, well, just in general, I guess, and explain some systems in the game which I should have maybe explained before, and some things which I really don't like. And yeah, so yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so firstly, let's cover the shooting mechanics. In my previous video, I said that it felt like a browser game, and I have changed my mind on that actually. Now it just feels like, you know, a free-to-play Steam FPS game, which ironically it is. Like games like Alliance of Valiant Arms and Combat Arms. It's a bit better than that, but it's very, very close in the actual feeling you get when you shoot at stuff. So, yeah. That's like upgrading, you know, your super budget ice cream, which tastes like chemical waste, into the, you know, big pack. Which all big packs tastes basically the same, but it's still cheap, you know. So it might be worth your money. And oh man, we're comparing FPS games with ice cream. Can you tell I'm a bit tired today? Anyway, so yeah, the shooting mechanics are actually a lot better than I initially thought. However, there are some things to destroy this within the game modes. Like, for example, in gun game, most of you know how gun game works as a game mode. But for those few of you that do not know how this works, basically you kill X amount of people with a gun and you get the next gun. And the first player that reaches the top weapon and gets a kill with that, which is usually a knife or a very bad weapon. So you basically go from the easiest to the hardest weapon to use, right? And yeah, for some reason in this game, I'll see if I can find any in the footage I have. Basically, if you kill like say 2 people, and you're gonna get the new gun, right? And it's like it gets delayed, and sometimes you don't even get like the new gun for a couple of seconds, which means either A, you die, or B, you get another kill, which doesn't count. And I just don't understand how you left this in the game. How did you fundamentally miss? Like, I guess the argument can be made that it's supposed to give you a couple of extra seconds to, well, cover yourself in case, like, sometimes in like CS you get the new gun, you draw it, you don't really have time to shoot before you're dead. So I guess they thought it was gonna counteract that, but instead it just feels unrewarding, you know. Sadly, I do not know how to explain this in a better way, but it doesn't feel good when it happens. The most extreme example I have, I actually got 3 extra kills with a gun, and I still didn't get my new gun. So I could, you know, continue my small kill streak, get a few more kills, and yeah. But on to the next point. On a further notice, by the way, this game has so many guns, and they all feel actually kinda unique for the ones I've tried at least. The animations look great, you can kit most of them out, not to the extent of Escape from Tarkov still, absolutely not, but you can kit them out. You can choose sights, you can choose barrel extensions, you can choose grips. Sadly, here's it coming. A big but, and not the good kind. I'm talking a big, like, but basically, most likely you won't see even half of them, because I actually figured out how the progression system works. At the start, you level up really quick, you get access to a lot of guns, and the guns themselves aren't tied to your class progression. They're actually tied to something called the weapon mastery system. And for this, you basically have to finish challenges with your guns to get to the next rank, basically. And after 15 hours, I have basically been stuck on weapon mastery level 5, I think. And I've been stuck for hours, like literally hours, and it just doesn't feel good, man. The progression basically goes from very rewarding and satisfying with unlocking guns, you know, and then you get to the point where it's just you slam into a brick wall, you know. Your progression just fucking stops. And that's actually, I think, the greatest thing that has made me now uninstall the game, because I spent 15 hours. You have so much guns, and I think the gun I would prefer to get is like a weapon mastery level 8, like a 416 compact for the recon class. So it's not even high up on the ladder, and you know what? I'm not gonna grind for 20 hours to get there. I'm not gonna do that. Like, why would I? I have more games than a lot of people, like on average, even. I think I actually have too many games, even. So why would I, like, do that? And even in that case, why wouldn't I play, like, Call of Duty, for example, where I can level up, I unlock my guns, and I can just continue on my way. To get back to the point, though, these challenges are basically like get 10 headshots and then get 10 double kills, stuff like that. So it's not very super difficult, but the amount you need after a while makes you... it's too much. And apparently when I snooped around on these, you know, old forums and stuff, it actually seems like at a certain point they actually had it tied to your class progression, but then for some reason they moved over to this system, which is absolutely horrific, and it's very, very, very bad for the player, like, enjoyment. Like, I get it if you have people who just play this, but in order for you to get new players, you shouldn't break them about, like, level 5 out of 30. They're gonna quit. I just quit because of it. The sad reality of this is that I was really starting to have fun. I was enjoying myself, and when I literally can't get to the guns I want to use for hours of grinding, it's just gonna make me quit. Because when you do a game type like this, an FPS game where it's about customization, you can use the guns you want, like the ones you like, and you just break it down so much that your players can't get to the guns they want to use, most of them is actually gonna quit, like, immediately. And it's sad, because I actually think this game has potential to be a very, very good game, but if you can't give the players what they want, like the actual weapons, then it's not gonna work. Like, and you have to realize that this game, it's actually fighting against Call of Duty for players, a game which also has weapon customization, and sometimes it actually has these modes open that this game has, even on the Warzone version of the game. Like, what was your line of thinking here? But with that being said, it brings me on to my next point, which is this game has basically kill streaks. Oh yeah! I don't think I talked about that in my previous video, so I'm gonna cover it very quickly and put up some examples. You have stuff like drone strikes, thermal vision, and I think there's a mortar strike too. And you also have my personal favorite, the Juggernaut. Even though I don't really like that class, that kill streak is actually pretty sweet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's very obvious where this game has taken a lot of inspiration from as to the game design, and some it gets from its sister game, Tarkov. You're using cash to buy the kill streaks and other stuff like helmets and medkits. And it's actually not a bad system. Like, even with that, it's a good system. It's just these systems around that really destroy it for me, you know? Then there is one system which I want to praise for actually being... I haven't seen this in a FPS game before, that's free to play, right? So basically every day you can get contracts that requires you to do a certain thing in a certain amount of time, and you get a loot box basically. And as far as I can tell, you can't buy these, and you open them and you get an item, which usually is an attachment, a camouflage for your gun, or some kind of visual item for your character, right? And it seems like all of these, unless you equip it to yourself, you can actually sell on the Steam market. And this I actually praise so much because if the players who want to buy attachments, sure, you can do that. But a lot of them you're not gonna get behind because you can farm that money for yourself. You play a bit every day, you're gonna get the box, you can just put it out there on the Steam market, you get some money, and then you can buy what you need. It's actually a very good system. Some would argue that might be pay to win, and to an extent, I am actually gonna agree. However, you can still farm it, and you can buy what you need off the market. And if you have a few extra like bucks you want to spend on the game, you can do it that way. And the thing is too, with the Steam market, the developers actually get a tiny amount of the money that you spend, which might be good if a lot of players come in. Then you get a functioning ecosystem where the devs get paid, you get paid for playing the game, and basically everyone wins, right? So yeah, that's actually a very innovative way of doing things, but it's not optimal, of course. Now, in conclusion, I've decided to uninstall the game. I can't deal with the slow progression. Like, it's really slow. Play 15 hours and you'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I do think the game has a ton of potential. They should really reverse the weapon mastering system. I do think it has a lot going for it. If you have maybe a couple of beers with some friends, it's definitely a couple of hours of fun. But I would not recommend this game as the main game for anyone. In general, the more time I've spent on the game, my experience have gotten worse and worse. It is a fun game, but it's fun for a couple of hours. I do genuinely think that you should give it a shot. It might be better for you than for me. It has some great concepts, and I hope that this game will actually get back on track perfectly. So yeah, that's all for me. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching, and this is Frank off.